Hello, John.
Hello, Oliver.
Now, today we're going to talk about one of the bigger employers, indigenous employers in Ireland. It's the Kerry Group. You say they might be getting a bit too big for their boots.
Correct. There was a headline in last Thursday's Irish Independent Business Week, and the headline is in the Business Week of last Thursday, the 7th of November. It says 2019, Kerry prepared to tap investors for merger deal. And it says food giant reportedly eyeing $20 billion DuPont nutrition tie-up with Chief Executive Scanlon keen to focus on M&A. I presume that's mergers and acquisitions. Now, I just happen to know that, but how ordinary people are supposed to know what that the hell is a mystery. So this is the sort of lack of information that you get. So this Mr. Scanlon has said the Kerry Group is prepared to ask its own investors to help fund a potential takeover that would, and then he said, generate shareholder value. Generate shareholder value. That is about the most obnoxious reason to make a purchase that I've ever heard. Shareholder value. What about employees? Employees are what make business, not shareholders.
Yes.
He was commenting after the Irish food giant was linked to a possible $20 billion, which would be 18 billion euros. 20 billion deal to buy US chemical giant DuPont's nutrition business. Now he mentions that it'll be by shares, but they'll be paying that money, and investors that don't support this, their shares will be diluted. Now this is the age-old codology that happens. If you don't do something, your shares that you have now will be diluted. Why should it be diluted? If they've supported Kerry Group so that it's an 18 billion business, and what they want to buy over, it'll be the same size, the nutrition business. Now, in the same article, there's a deal to sell Goodbody stockbrokers to Chinese group agreed. And part of the reason for that is that the managers and employees of Goodbody have 49% of it. And it was considered that Davy Stockbrokers, which is owned by some other international group, not by Irish, and some other Irish Life, which is owned by somebody else. Some other foreign group. It's not actually Irish, it's called Irish, but it's not owned by Irish. The employees felt that there's no love lost between them and the other crowd that was expected to buy it. There was also concern of a culture clash given the deep-seated rivalry between the firms. Davy Stockbrokers, yes, that crowd. So they were expected to be favourites, but the employees obviously choose the Chinese. They've offered over 100 million or something, and yet it was bought by the crowd in Kerry, Fexo, for 24 million.
Fexco, I think it is.
Fesco, yeah. McCarthy, a fellow called McCarthy was mentioned. So they're going to make a profit. It's all this profit rubbish that they seem to be interested in. This chasing after money and value, and he's talking about shareholder value. Is it going to, why should any company pay such a vast amount? Because it makes them then a target for some other bigger outfit to buy them all over. Kerry Group was started as Kerry Co-op by farmers, and they probably still have shares in the company and maybe important control, I hope. Their headquarters is in Tralee, and so it's great to see that they've become such a big group throughout the world. But I think the sort of acquisitions that they should get should be fit into their core business. Because funny enough, on last Friday, a program that I look at in EWTN, it's Raymond Arroyo, the world over. There was a stockbroker on from an agency that he's the chief executive of, which is a Catholic agency in the brokerage, and they are quite huge, and they invest in companies that have core businesses, and they never invest in anything that's to do with abortion or pornography or anything. They have advisors that are able to tell them what ones not to touch. So, and they are quite successful. But what he said was, you invest in companies that have profits and assets, both. And I presume Kerry Group has assets and profits to match what there is. They're not just a company that's making profit on paper, in that sense. But to me, it's a very bad move to do such a thing. I marked out this other one, and it says staff who want to, it would result in significant job losses. This is what they were afraid of with Davy and them. So this was a takeover. So could the same apply to Kerry? Because that's in the same page, but in a different company. Now, why would Kerry want to buy? Because the Kerry Co-op was put on the market by Dennis Brosnan, who was the general manager or chief executive years ago when I was young, because Kerry was a co-op, and he kind of expanded it and expanded their products like that, and he was nearly responsible for where it is today. But sometimes you get managing directors that come up through the ranks, and this fellow was apparently in charge of the Asian market and some other market abroad. So he might have been contaminated by in that sort of rarefied atmosphere. He didn't get his feet dirty down in Kerry, where people come up the hard way. So I would not be in agreement with this whatsoever. I remember an episode where a fellow called Saunders, the chief executive of Guinness at the time, wanted to buy Scottish Distillers, or some whisky group, but I think he used peculiar means to get it, and he was prosecuted and jailed. So now Guinness is owned as part of Diageo, and that's a group that owns many companies. And as a matter of fact, Harp Lager, which was started in Dundalk by Guinness and very successful, this Diageo has seen fit to close that great operation, which was operating up to a few years ago. And great equipment in it. It was really superb. That's been closed, and they're producing harp in some other country. So this is the danger with monopolies. Jobs are lost, and this Kerry Group would be no different. So I would suggest to the shareholders in Kerry Group, particularly farmers, to object strongly to such a move, because it'll make them a target then for a bigger group to take over, and it could result in job losses, because these amalgamations always result in job losses. And it doesn't matter what they say or what they might promise, because making a promise today and changing their mind in a year's time or 2 years' time, it's forgotten about, you see. So recession, and here's another thing, recession is predicted in the economy worldwide, and which will come because of what the policies that these various governments of abortion and all the rest of the secular agenda has inflicted on the people. So there will be a recession coming. And so why would you pay such an amount of money when there might be a recession in that particular sector? And there will be. So I would suggest that Kerry Co-op and the people, the investors and what have you, do not approve of such a move. By all means, buy something that fits into the core business at a very reasonable cost, not the sort of the worth of your whole company that you're valued at.
Thank you very much, Sean.
You're most welcome.